Get ready.
This is the voice of Wayne America.
Lighten up, Francis.
With your host,
Hi-ho, Kermit the Frog here.
Mike Carnes.
How do you measure yourself with other golfers? By height.
Only at WayneAmerica.com.
The supernova's gonna kill us all.
Okay, this guy is the real zero, that's true. Just think back when you guys were freshmen, huh?
.com.
Hello and welcome to the Voice of Wayne America podcast, an exclusive here on MyWayneNews.com. I'm Mike Carnes, your host for everything that is all about the best town in all of America. That's right here in Wayne America. And of course, it's the second weekend in July, and if you are familiar at all with this crazy community, the 2nd of July is when we really kind of let our feathers hang out, as it were. It's the 39th annual Wayne Chicken Show coming up this weekend here in beautiful Wayne, America. A lot of activities going on starting on Friday and going all the way through Sunday. And with us are two of the lead hens, if you will, of the chicken show, Abby Schademann and Irene from the Wayne Area Chamber, here to talk with us about the upcoming events. And Irene, you're the old veteran here of the group here. So another chicken show is upon us here.
As the head cluck, yes, this is the 39th annual chicken show. I don't think the organizers, when they started this way back when with an idea of something fun to do on a weekend in July, could have ever imagined the festival that it's turned into be.
Yeah, and go back to, it was 1981, I think, was the first year for the chicken show. How did this whole thing get started?
At that time, Wayne had an arts council, and they were looking for activities, something fun to do on a weekend, something that might draw some visitors. And they designed an art show with the art materials being feathers and eggshells. At the time, eggshell mosaic was very popular. And so they had an art show. It also included, they used a sponsor called Bonami, which is a scouring powder. And you would mix it with tempera paint, and you would paint it on a glass. And so the Bonami painting contest was also very popular at the time. And so they organized them to have a Bonami show of the paintings, and they would do that, I believe, this is back before my time even, that they did that in the city auditorium as an art show. And then they looked at other ways they could grow the event, and who doesn't love a parade? They thought Wayne needed a parade, and so they got together and started organizing a parade. And then eventually it was determined that if there were events on Friday night, people would stay overnight, Friday and Saturday, and that would add something to the economy for the community. And so they added on what they called Halloween, and various groups and organizations throughout the community have been in charge of that until now. All of those chicken show events fall under Wayne Area Economic Development.
And then the chicken show has kind of taken on a life of its own, and I know at one point it actually had kind of some national notoriety, because the winner of the Cluck-Off used to get invited to be on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson. Which, if you get invited on the Tonight Show with Johnny Carson back in the day, that was definitely like the must-see TV event of the year, because the Tonight Show was such a popular late-night show at that time with Johnny Carson as the host.
We had some awesome community volunteers that were great marketers, and they did a lot of work, outreach and making connections with those TV shows and those powers that be, to make that happen. And it did for a number of years. And then as people changed and the TV shows as well changed, we lost some of that connection. I do know that we did have some presence on Nickelodeon. In addition, we had the winner of the Children's Cluck-Off got to go to the Nickelodeon show. They had some funny games and contests. So we did a lot more of that. And more recently, we've been working with the likes of Jimmy Fallon. He's the perfect matchup for the chicken show, we believe, because of the style of his show and some of the fun things that he's done with the chicken suit and all. But we've not been able to make that connection.
Yeah. Now, Abby is a recent addition to the staff here. Abby, was this your third show?
Fourth, technically.
Fourth,
Yeah.
okay. Third as a full-time member of the staff, right?
Yeah, technically. We'll
Okay.
go with that. I was here and helped with the chicken show when I was an intern, and then I volunteered before I came on staff. So
All right.
technically my second one as a full-time.
Okay. Well, when you first got started with this, what did you think about being a part of a chicken show at the time?
I've been doing theater all my life, so it was just another production that I rolled with. It's a great community event. I think people know about the chicken show far and wide, so it's always fun to travel outside of Wayne and hear people's stories that they have about coming to the Wayne Chicken Show. So yeah, no, I really enjoyed working with it when I first came on as an intern, even though I had no idea what I was in for. But it's a great event.
Yeah, that's one of the neat things about being from Wayne. And when people ask you where you're from, and you say you're from Wayne, and one of the first things people will say is, "Oh yeah, that's where the chicken show is held every year." And
Exactly.
So it's neat to have that kind of notoriety.
Yeah.
Now the show gets started on Friday, and a lot of the activities that we'll be talking about, a lot of the famous activities will happen on Saturday, but Friday is when things really kind of get going, and it's that anticipation for that first day is really starting to build now as we sit here on Wednesday afternoon and talk about this. The community's really starting to get fired up for the show this weekend.
It's exciting because the first sign of something unusual is when the cement chickens that have been purchased at previous auctions start showing up in the businesses. They start showing up in the windows, and then the businesses start decorating around the theme, and the banners go up, and things really ramp up. And we're looking forward to tomorrow because we'll see an increase of visitor traffic, and Friday the alums as well as all the other guests start arriving in town, and you definitely see that they're out walking up and down the streets. What's new since the last time I was in Wayne? What's going on? What's happening? And then to see them connect with friends and have those reunions. And so it really this whole week just ramps up all week long until we get to all the vendors on the sidewalk Friday, and then we kick off with the world's largest chicken dance at 6:00 on Friday night. That's our first staged, timed event, and that's when things really get rolling.
Yeah, and just walking in the office today, seeing all these chickens that have been decorated. That chicken auction that happens on Friday night is really it's almost more entertaining than the chickens themselves, because there's some interesting bidding wars that get to going on some of these, and with the theme this year being chickens around the world, it looks like there's some really neat themed chickens that are a part of this.
Exactly, yeah. We've got some really talented artists that went with the theme. I think a couple of the favorites are the Scottish chicken, the chickens that are decorated with different countries, and the Day of the Dead chicken, as well as many others. So we're excited to showcase all these.
Yeah.
It's a fairly exotic flock.
An exotic flock, yeah. That's definitely a great way to describe it. The things get started actually on Friday morning. There's a market downtown in downtown Wayne, and that's really kind of people will set up tables in front of the businesses in town, and just kind of it's more like a I guess an open garage sale of sorts that to kind of get things going on Friday morning.
It also serves as a sidewalk sale for our existing businesses downtown as well. That way they can get involved, and we don't have another weekend of the year when we do sidewalk sales. So they do sidewalk sales, and we mix that in with other. We used to call it a flea market. Now we call it a clique, as in a boutique. So with all the other vendors, and then there are lots of home-based business and vendors that participate as well. So quite a few unique and unusual products that you can see all in the downtown area.
Yeah, and then Main Street gets shut down at one time on Friday.
The streets will be closed starting at 2:30 p.m. and then activities will start getting geared up for about 4 o'clock. So.
Okay, and then they'll close down what First and Second Street on Main, or
the street is closed. Main Street is closed from First Street all the way up to Fourth Street.
To 4th Street, okay,
including the intersections, and then there is some side streets also that is closed to make room for some of our things like the inflatable games. And other activities. The food court will be in the 100 block of Main Street. We've got the stage on the corner of 3rd and Main, as well as the teen dance will be in the 300 block. So we use that whole area, and then we spill out into the side streets as well. So we ask people to be respectful of the barriers. We do close the street at 2:30, and we're not allowed to set any of our vendors up until all the cars have been removed from the no parking areas. And so as long as people cooperate with that, we're able to get those vendors in and get set up. Otherwise, it complicates our situation quite a bit.
Yeah, so the best idea on Friday, if you're planning on coming downtown, is to maybe park on one of the side streets, park off a block east or west of Main Street, and take that little walk downtown.
Observe the signs and the barriers. Every year, there's someone that thinks they can go around a barrier, and that's never a good thing.
Yeah, that's never a good thing. Now the chicken dance on at 6 o'clock is kind of the unofficial start to the weekend, and we always try to set the record for the world's largest chicken dance that evening.
Sort of. Sort of. We don't have any official standing on that. It's been called the world's largest chicken dance since it started, and we're going with that. But we don't have any official tally. That event is sponsored by the local radio station, Big Red Country. KCTY are very generous to provide prizes for that event, and we do get the crowd. We've got the cheerleaders that come down and get the crowd going and get those dancers involved, because there's always somebody that doesn't want to do the chicken dance.
Sure.
And those cheerleaders make sure that everybody gets out and gets involved and has a fun time with it.
It's very difficult for me to do the chicken dance just because I can't dance and take photos at the same time. So it's kind of hard to try to do that. But I might try to maybe slip in there every once in a while.
There you go.
Maybe catch a little bit. And then the chicken auction is at 7 o'clock, and that'll be on the corner of 3rd and Main. And that'll be followed by the hot wing eating contest at 8 o'clock. And then the close of the evening on Friday night, the big fireworks display that'll be out at the Summer Sports Complex. And then the teen dance that'll be downtown. And the fireworks, I believe, is Brian Gibson doing that again this year?
Yes.
Okay.
And that will be at the Summer Sports Complex. The free entertainment this year, because of our international theme, we have Taekwondo students will be doing some demonstrations on the stage. And we also have the Wayne Dance Company will be performing for us on the stage, intermixed with the cement chicken auction and all those other things you just named. Mm-hmm. And then our free entertainment for the evening, beginning at about 8:30, will be the Many Moccasins Dance Troupe, a Native American dance show, as well as education opportunity.
All right, so a lot of great activities coming up on Friday to kick off the 39th Annual Wayne Chicken Show here in beautiful Wayne, America. I want to take a moment to remind everybody that if you've missed out on the school year photos from the 2017-18 school year, don't let procrastination get in the way again for the coming year. Photos for the summer 2018 and 2018-19 school year are available on the Mikey C. Productions photo website at MikeyCProductions.com. Click on photos and you'll see the link to our photo site where you can order digital or print images, or you can get something special like a coffee mug, a deck of playing cards, or even a phone case with a picture of your favorite kid. And just between you and me, if you're the parents of one or more kids, you do have a favorite. At least my parents do. But don't tell my sister because she thinks she's the one. So sports photos done right. Check them out at MikeyCProductions.com and go to the photo website and check out all the great photos that are available. Here on the Voice of Wayne America podcast, we're talking with Irene Mock and Abby Schademann of the Wayne Area Chamber, talking about the 39th Annual Wayne Chicken Show. The theme of this year's chicken show, Chickens Around the World. And some really cool T-shirts that are available, and that's part of the tradition of the chicken show is the T-shirts. I know those came out earlier this year. A light blue T-shirt with a big egg that the planet looks like an egg, and chickens around the world was a theme. How did that theme come up?
We were sitting in one of our first meetings, bouncing ideas off the wall about, what should the theme be, and we kind of bounced around ideas of maybe something along like Disney, but then we're nervous about how that would work out maybe, and maybe doing something like The Wonderful World of Wayne, and that's when we came up with, well, what about chickens around the world? And we decided we've never done something like that before, and there were so many good opportunities with that, so we decided to roll with it, and we've had really good feedback so far about chickens around the world.
Yeah, it's a neat design. Who did the design on the T-shirts?
Jeff from Stadium Sports did.
Okay, so Stadium Sports was involved with that. So, yeah, some great great artwork on the t-shirts this year. Now Saturday things get going bright and early. There's a 5K run that begins at Providence Medical Center at 7 o'clock in the morning. There's also a omelet feed that starts about 7:30 on 2nd and Main. That kind of leads into all the big activities that go on during the course of Saturday.
Yeah, so we start our day off with the parade at 9:30 in the morning. We'll have about 100 entries this year, so we're really excited to play host to all that. And then the parade will end about at Bressler Park, and we'll start with our stage entertainment at noon. Ted and Alice Miller will be playing. They are more folksy / like rock band, I would describe them as. So they're a really good time. If you've been down to the brewery while they've been playing, they have performed there a couple of times.
Yeah, they've had some performances of Johnny Bird that had some pretty good turnout there. So.
Yeah. So they know how to put on a show. So
yeah,
and they're excited to be performing. They have chickens of their own, so they're excited to be involved with us this year. So
yeah, and then the Bressler Park is where a lot of the activities will happen on Saturday, and there's just a ton of stuff going on out there. There'll be some food vendors out there, some other vendors as well. Clara Oston will have her chickens out there for the chicken flying contest, and then the big event though is the National Cluck Off, and there's always a lot of great and entertaining would-be chickens that show up for that event.
We always get a lot of questions about the Cluck Off, and there's no pre-registration. You register the day of the event. We start that in the park, and everyone needs to be registered for the Cluck Off by 1 o'clock so we can organize the contestants. There's children's categories as well as adult categories. There are cash prizes for that. I think that's what generates some of the interest in that event, and so it's always a fun focus of the festivities. Now we've got things that happen before that and after that. I can't tell you an exact time that Cluck Off will happen, but it will happen in the course of events, and it's always fun, and it's so cute to see the little kids get up on the stage, and then you see the adults take over, and every year we're always surprised at what we get with that Cluck Off competition.
It's funny to see some of the little kids that'll walk up to the microphone. The microphone's about 2 feet above them, and then boy, they just kick back and let it rip. And some of the older people who are up near the front there, boy, they get that full force of that high pitched cluck, and boy, it really lifts them out of their seats a little bit. So, and then Joe Vavra, is he going to be one of these contestants again this year? Have we heard from him?
We have not heard from him. We hope to see him this year as a returning contestant. Yes.
And he's the all-time champion in the Cluck Off. I believe he's won 13 times, I think now, or 12 or 13.
We've lost track.
Yes. Been quite a few there. So, but other activities will be going on. There will be a best chicken legs, which is another fun event, and that's basically kids and adults walk up and on stage, and we'll put a kind of a curtain over the front of the stage, and everybody gets to judge all those legs, and there's a lot of fun and different looks to the legs that come up for that as well.
Oh yeah, we especially appreciate those that come prepared with different types of shoes to wear too.
Yeah, there's been some flip flops that have chicken legs on them, and
some high heels, some crazy shoes. So.
So, and then after the chicken Cluck Off, there is the boiled egg eating contest, which you have to have a
strong stomach for that one.
Whether
you're participating or you're on stage having to hand some eggs to the participants.
Yeah, now I've been emceeing that for a number of years, and I don't think I've seen anybody lose their lunch, so to speak, on that. But boy, there's some people that look pretty green in the gills after that event is done.
I don't know how they do it. The contestants every year, there's always some of those guys that just power through all those eggs. So we look forward to that. event is sponsored by Pizza Hut, and there's cash prizes for that event as well.
And then after that, we kind of take to the streets a little bit. There's a chicken chucking contest.
Rubber chicken.
Rubber
chucking.
chicken. We should make sure. And
We're not throwing live chickens or any other.
no
type
live
of-
chickens will be used in this particular event, but we have that going on. Then an egg toss afterwards. Those are real eggs that they'll be tossing, and I tell you what, there's been a couple years where it's been amazing how far they've been. A pair has been able to throw an egg and catch it and not have it crack on them. It's it takes some very special soft hands to win that event.
And by the time you're done with that, you're well practiced for the egg drop when they drop the eggs off the boom trucks. So
Yeah.
if you've got those soft hands, you've practiced.
Yeah, you can do well in those two events.
You can. We're really proud of the fact that we can offer all these games and contests free. There's never any fee to participate in any of the games, and everybody gets to play. The only exception we have is the eating contest has to be adult 18 and over for those contests. But all the other things, it's all for family fun, and we love to see the families gathering in the park, and the moms and sons and dads and daughters and friends all pairing up to do the different games and cheering everyone on. So we feel that's one of the features of our event, is that family focus.
Yeah, and it's really fun to see people come from all over the country just to be a part of that event. It always amazes me some of the places that people will say they're from, like Nevada and California. I think one year we had some people from England. I think they were here to do a documentary on the show. We had some people from England participating in the event. So
yeah, and I think last year we had a bachelor party that decided they were from New York and decided to come to Northeast Nebraska. So yeah, they were a fun group to host. So a lot of people come out for these events.
Yeah, and then things close on Saturday night with the dance at the City Auditorium. Sons of Satan, who's a local band that has been around for almost as long as Satan has. Evidently, I don't know. They've been around a long time. A local rock and roll band that has put on a number of shows here in the last several years, and they'll be getting together again for the show on Saturday night at the auditorium, and that'll be something that's hosted by the Wayne Community Schools Foundation.
That's correct. It is hosted by the School Foundation. It's kind of a all-school reunion, but it is open to the public, and they encourage everyone to stop in and hear the band.
Yeah, and then Sunday kind of winds things down. There's some events that will be going on during the day. There's a gun show at the Wayne County Fairgrounds from 9 to 5. There's also the car show, which is really neat out at the, I believe that's out at the airport
Nope,
this year.
This year it has moved locations.
Okay.
It will be at 2nd and Main. So between Main Street and Pearl Street, they'll be lined up. So.
Okay, and then they'll take off from there
Bridge
for the poker run then, right?
That's
Is that-
correct, yep.
Okay. So that's actually being moved from its old location at the airport down to 2nd and Main Streets, and that'll get going around 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. And then the last event on the list for this year, and I think this is a new one, the Young Professionals and Johnny Bird Brewing Company hosting a wind down social.
Yes, the group decided that after the long weekend and all the clucking craziness, it'd be a good chance for everybody just to come in and hang out and just meet some new people or chat with some old friends. So, and it's a way to also say thank you to all the volunteers too. So
Yeah, and the neat thing about this weekend too is that, and Irene mentioned this earlier, a lot of the stuff that is involved with this event is stuff that you don't have to pay for. You don't. It's free to take part in, and just a great opportunity to bring your family and just come down and have a great time in Wayne, America all weekend long.
And we're able to do that with our cement chicken auction and the sale of our t-shirts, but also with our generous sponsors. Our community is very, very generous when it comes to sponsoring the chicken show, whether financially or in kind. And so that's very important to us because even though we provide those things free, it does cost for our entertainment and our marketing of the event and such. So we appreciate all our sponsors, and we appreciate those people that take advantage of our collectible sales and bid on our cement chickens and participate that way as well, so that we can keep this that fowl family friendly event.
Yeah, and if you pick up a brochure on the chicken show, you look at there's on the back of the brochure. There's a list of all the sponsors, and there's just a ton of them that are involved in sponsoring the Wayne Chicken Show. And want to thank all those businesses for their part in it. And this is something that has been going on here for almost 4 decades. In fact, next year is going to be the 40th year of the Chicken Show. Have we thought ahead to that yet?
Oh yeah, we're in the planning stages. So if you have any ideas or you want to be involved in that planning or you're planning on hosting some sort of event, let us know. And we're bouncing ideas off the wall and seeing what we can do. So the Chicken Show Committee meets the second Monday of every month starting in August. So come on down or contact the office for more information.
Yeah, stop by the chamber office here at 108 West 3rd Street and throw your feathers in the hat, so to speak, and you can be a part of the planning for the 40th annual Chicken Show, which will be 52 weeks from today. So want to put it on your calendar. So the Chicken Show coming up this weekend, starting on Friday, July 12th, running through Sunday, July 14th. It's going to be a ton of fun, as it always is every year. And I think the weather's going to cooperate this weekend. It's going to be, the weather's supposed to be a little warm, but still sunny, and I don't think there's much threat of rain. So I think we're gonna have a great weekend of entertainment here in Wayne this weekend.
We invite everyone to come and be prepared to strut their stuff.
You betcha. All right, well, that's going to do it for this time around. I want to thank Irene Mock and Abby Schademann from the Wayne Area Chamber of Commerce. Thanks a lot for talking about the show, and go get your second win and get ready to party this weekend.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mike, for all you do as well.
All right, that's going to do it for this edition of the Voice of Wayne America podcast here on WayneAmerica.com, and we will have another edition of the show coming up in the very near future. Until then, this is Mike Carnes, and we will see you later.